think I'm gonna try to trade for him next off season. In exchange for a Nerdle, maybe. Get him when he's 26 for a 31-year-old. And that seems like a pretty fair deal for me. Like, don't get me wrong, I'd love to have a Nerdle around for another 2 or 3 years or more, but that's just too good. Another use check.
This is Madden 19. I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. We're just about set to get started, and this ought to be a good one between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Kansas City Chiefs. With that, we're off to Arrowhead for the call from Kansas City. We'll hand it over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, from one of the loudest venues in the NFL, there's a look at Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it, this crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Kansas City Chiefs. Hello again, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And, Charles, we look at this Chiefs ball club. They come in with some fresh legs as they got the week off last week thanks to the early season bye.
And usually you hope your bye comes a little bit later in the year. But when you get a chance to get fresh legs back, you take that time and you run with it.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Steelers, they're off to a terrific start, unbeaten at 5-0 through the first month and change.
And you can hang a lot of this early success on their defense, too. They're the tone setters for these guys, and the entire team feeds off of what they do.
Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Chiefs now coming out for their opening drive. And leading them, Charles, their quarterback, their field general.
What I enjoyed this week is that you asked to talk to his offensive center before the game and find out a little bit more about him and what the relationship is. And that was a pretty positive story, wasn't it?
Yeah, and really what I took away from that is just how it has permeated throughout the entire offensive line, the relationship they've had. It's really a group that
they care about him. That's the thing. They really care. And when you care that much, you're going to play that much harder for him and give him a better chance to lead the team to wins.
And some room to maneuver. And avoids the contact
Are you
by
kidding me?
sliding.
What the
Successful
fudge?
start to the drive.
Just stopped running and then
moves
died.
the sticks.
I think the last
Like, what the fudge? Why does it have to be so difficult? Trying to control, just won't continue moving. And then stops, and then here, when I have control, make the dive. Nope, we're going to keep side shuffling and then go for it.
plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well, what we call those broken plays? You can't account for.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Not again.
You've called plenty of games in your career. Do you believe in momentum, my man?
I do, and I think we're seeing it right here.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. The run that he's been on. How about that? 3 sacks in a game a week ago, and another one right here. Oh, he's feeling it in a big way.
The start less than ideal as they already face a 2nd and long.
All right, here we go.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he's got his man on the out route. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you, from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about...
And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. In for the score. And the Steelers have taken a first quarter lead. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. Elliott good on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down.
I know there would be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And his throw's going to be incomplete. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Now let's go. 3-19.
He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. That makes them now 0 for 2 here in the first quarter on 3rd down conversions.
And now they'll look to their defense because they need them to step up so they don't fall further behind here in the early going.
And it's fielded at the 34. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. Look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he's got some space here. And this will set them up nicely deep down in KC territory. 38 yards on the scamper there.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Looking middle, and that's complete. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain. A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. As his guys are in for 6. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead. Elliott on for the extra point.
That drive was quick and impressive. Almost like they had somewhere else they needed to be after the game.
Elliott good with a PAT. And that'll make the score 14-0.
God damn it. What is it with shoulder tears this season? What, the 4th one?
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now a play fake here on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Gun. They'll look to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. Now a look at the defensive starters here for the Steelers. They were very strong last week in that win over Cleveland.
In today's football, there aren't a lot of goals for defenses. But when you hold a team under 100 total yards of offense, yeah, that has to be a goal that was met. Big check mark for them in last week's game.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll drop to throw. He's going to let this one go deep. And this will be caught at the 30. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown.
How did you miss
A
that?
big play there. 85 yards. And the Chiefs are able to get this back within a touchdown. They were already down 2 scores early. They needed something to try to stem that tide, and that certainly qualifies. A big play to get them in the end zone.
It qualifies indeed because, let's face it, they don't get something done on this drive, turn it back over, this game could be 88 and out the gate early.
What? 88 and out the gate?
Yeah.
What's that?
Well, listen, I used to hear my old man talk about it. It usually meant that thing's done.
Oh, well, now that they got the touchdown, it's not 88 and out the gate. We still got a good game going ahead of us. Extra point forthcoming. Point after, right down the middle. And that'll make our score 14-7. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it's capped off with a Kansas City touchdown. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. Now Bush on the return. And a great return.
Why the
field position.
did you just juke like that? Literally juked into traffic with the freaking field open.
Special teams,
My
special teams. The spark that often wins games.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10.
Here we go. Grand 38.
And they'll go on the ground. Finding room inside the 40. Wow, evasive.
Make them miss.
And finally marked down at the 23. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a first down.
I don't care what the game plan was coming in. After these runs,
you're running it, right?
you make sure you keep circling on your play sheet, running plays that are working, and keep patting those big offensive linemen on the back. They're doing a great job.
Goes without saying, the defense is going to have to adjust to it.
In a big way, and they've got to figure out, do they have to sell out to stop the run, or can they just do it better than what they've done so far?
Come on, let's go! Brand 38! Brand 38!
Back with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's Steeler football to begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a first down. And they'll run it here. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here we go! 190! 190!
They'll set up a throw. Throws a quick hitter on the slant. That's complete. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. 13 yards as the quick slant keeps the drive moving. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
They'll look to throw here. This will be caught at about the 5. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. In for the score. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Elliott now to add the extra point. Elliott good on the extra point, and it's now 21-7. So that drive, 4 plays, and it ends with a Pittsburgh touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. They go play action here on first down. Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
Now let's go! 3-19!
They're going to look to throw. His throw incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
The Chiefs on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be a tough 3rd and 18.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
He'll look to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Reese. And they'll get him down here at the 23. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
That's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Here's the Chiefs punter now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. It's taken to the 26. Pushing his way inside the 40. A very good return.
My
there.
God, it's every single freaking kick return now. Juking right into the defender. Trying to get him to go to the outside, and what does he do? Run straight and juke.
He's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a 1st down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
2 minutes to play here in the 1st half. We're back to Arrowhead after this. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
They'll look to throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he will have the 1st down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation. You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
He'll drop to throw. The quick slant caught. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. The quick slant, good for 8 and a 1st.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
A chance to really cap off a big 1st half here as they come up on 1st and goal.
Let's go! Grand 38! Grand 38!
Again, he'll drop to throw. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. As his guys are in for 6. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. Elliott on for the extra point. Elliott good with a PAT. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10.
All right, here we go.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
All right, here we go.
And they'll indeed take a knee. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the 2nd down play, they burn the timeout, making him sweat out the final few ticks here in the 2nd quarter. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.
Hurry up, here we go.
And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we've reached halftime here with the visiting Steelers out in front. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks. A few teams starting to rise to the top as it's time to take you around the NFL here in Week 6. We'll start things out with the battle for Ohio. This one at First Energy Stadium as Cleveland hosts Cincinnati. And just a field goal separating these two sides as they've gone to halftime. The Browns still in a dogfight, but this would be a good victory for them if they could get it. From there, we're off to check out another game. And this one going the visitors' way as the Texans have the lead in that one. The Texans seem to be on their way to what would be a good victory. Finally, let's get up to the place they call Titletown, Green Bay, Wisconsin, to see what's happening with the Packers. And they couldn't get the job done as they fall to the visiting Baltimore Ravens. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back.